All right, so today we're going to dive deep into some pretty fascinating stories
Oh, yeah,
about young people accomplishing some really incredible things.
absolutely.
Yeah, we've got like an artist and a rock climber, a sports predictor, and an entrepreneur,
Wow,
all still in their teens or even younger.
crazy.
What's driving them and like what can we learn from their journeys?
Yeah, it's really intriguing. You know how these stories kind of turn our usual ideas about like age and achievement
Right.
upside down? We tend to think
Absolutely.
you need years of experience to do something truly remarkable.
Yeah.
But these young individuals are really like showing us that talent and drive can blossom so early.
Yeah, so let's start with Alita Andre.
Okay.
She's a 12-year-old abstract painter who's already like turning heads in the art world.
Oh, wow.
Get this, she started painting at 9 months old
What?
and had her first exhibition at 2.
That's right. And her work is selling for like tens of thousands of dollars,
Oh my God.
with exhibitions everywhere from like London and New York to Tokyo and Hong Kong.
Really?
It makes you wonder, is there something about like artistic development we've just like totally misunderstood?
Yeah.
Is there a kind of innate talent that can emerge so early?
It's wild. She even gets feedback from her pet bird,
Oh, really?
who apparently nibbles at the paintings he doesn't like.
It's certainly a unique approach to critique,
Yeah.
but Alita's success hasn't come without scrutiny.
Right.
Some critics compare her to Jackson Pollock and question like the depth of her work.
Yeah,
It makes you think about like what role does age play in how we actually like value art?
for sure.
Are we more likely to see her work as a novelty because of her age, or does it actually make her achievements even more impressive?
I think there's a fascination with prodigies.
Yeah.
Definitely plays a role.
Right.
We're drawn to stories that challenge our expectations,
Mm-hmm.
especially in fields like art, which we often associate with years of practice and refinement.
Absolutely. And the art market itself can be influenced by narratives.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There might even be a prodigy premium attached to her work where like the very fact of her age contributes to its value.
It's fascinating to consider the market forces at play.
Yeah.
But regardless of those factors, Alita seems unfazed by the criticism
Yeah.
and continues to create on her own terms.
That's amazing.
That's a powerful lesson in itself.
Indeed. Speaking of defying expectations, let's move on to our next young achiever,
Okay.
Ashima Shiraishi,
Ashima Shiraishi.
a rock climber who started scaling walls at just 6 years old in Central Park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, her playground is Yosemite National Park,
Wow.
where she's taking on like some of the most challenging climbs in the world.
That's awesome.
And like Alita, she's already facing scrutiny and questioning,
Real.
not because of her age, but because she's a young woman
Oh, wow.
in a traditionally male-dominated sport.
What's striking about Ashima is not just her physical ability,
Right.
but her mindset. She sees climbing as more than a sport. It's a way of life,
Yeah.
a constant process of pushing her limits and confronting her fears.
And she's doing it with incredible grace and strategy.
Yeah.
The article mentioned that her smaller stature is actually an advantage in climbing,
Interesting.
allowing for greater reach and flexibility.
Yes. And she describes her climbing style as almost dance-like,
Wow.
emphasizing precision and balance over brute strength. Her success challenges a lot of the assumptions we have about what it takes to excel in a physically demanding sport
Right.
like climbing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really makes you think about all the different ways we can approach like challenges.
Yeah.
Sometimes brute force isn't the answer.
Yeah,
Sometimes, like with Ashima's climbing, it's about finesse and strategy.
absolutely. And that brings us to our next young achiever, Sam Holtz,
Okay.
who took a completely different approach to tackling a challenge and won big.
All right.
We're talking about the 12-year-old who became a March Madness bracket champion,
Okay, for those who might not be familiar,
right?
March Madness is the annual NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Yeah.
And filling out a bracket, trying to predict the outcome of every game, is a national pastime. Yeah.
Millions of people participate, and the odds of getting a perfect bracket are
Astronomical.
astronomical.
To put it in perspective, you're more likely to win the lottery multiple times in a row than to predict every single game correctly.
Wow.
And yet Sam, who wasn't even a diehard basketball fan,
Mhm.
managed to do just that. He beat out over 11 million other entries.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
And get this, he wasn't poring over stats or doing deep dives into team histories.
Right.
He was going with his gut. He picked UCLA because he liked their campus.
Oh, wow.
Michigan State because their coach was Italian like him.
Okay.
And he bet against undefeated Kentucky just because he wanted to see an underdog win.
It's a story that really makes you question our obsession with data and expertise.
Yeah.
Sam's success wasn't about logic or analysis, it was about pure intuition. It begs the question, is there something to be said for trusting your gut feeling even when the odds seem stacked against you? Yeah, it makes you wonder if sometimes we overthink things. Maybe just, maybe there's wisdom in that simple approach of just going with what feels right. What do you think? Have you ever had a situation where you made a decision based on gut feeling and it turned out to be the right call?
I think we all have those moments where intuition guides us, even if we don't always acknowledge it.
Right.
It's like our subconscious mind is picking up on cues and patterns that our conscious mind might miss. And sometimes those gut feelings lead us to unexpected success, just like with Sam.
It's a great reminder to trust ourselves a bit more, even when things seem uncertain. Now, our final young achiever brings us back to the world of strategy and hard work.
Yeah.
But this time in the realm of technology and entrepreneurship, let's talk about Hillary Yip,
All right.
the 14-year-old CEO of Menornis.
Hillary's story is all about identifying a problem and finding a creative solution. She was struggling to learn Chinese
Yeah.
and found traditional language learning methods tedious and ineffective. Then she attended an immersive Mandarin camp and had a light bulb moment. Yeah.
And that moment led to the creation of Menorminus,
Yeah.
a language learning app that connects children globally through peer-to-peer communication.
Wow.
It's a brilliant concept, learning a language by actually using it with other kids, turning language acquisition into a fun and social experience.
And it's not just a good idea, it's a successful business.
Yeah.
Hillary has users in over 50 countries she's pitching to investors, managing a team, and all while still attending school, talk about defying expectations.
It's mind-boggling, and she's facing a whole different set of challenges than our other young achievers.
Right.
Building an app, running a business, securing funding, those are things we typically associate with seasoned professionals, not teenagers.
It certainly challenges our assumptions about what young people are capable of.
Yeah.
And what's even more remarkable is Hillary's commitment to creating a safe and positive online environment for her users. She's very aware of the potential pitfalls of the digital world and is taking proactive steps to ensure Menorminus is a place where kids can learn and connect in a healthy way.
It's really inspiring to see a young person not just building a business, but also thinking about the ethical implications of their work. There's something we could all learn from. What stands out to you most about Hillary's journey? For me, it's her incredible drive and focus at such a young age. You know, she saw a problem and came up with a solution and then actually made it happen. That takes like a huge level of initiative and resilience. That's really impressive.
It's a fantastic example of how entrepreneurship can be like a powerful force for positive change. And it's not just about like making money.
Right.
It's about solving real world problems and making a difference in people's lives.
Right. And she's doing all of this while navigating the often cutthroat world of tech startups, which is even more impressive.
Absolutely. So we've explored these 4 amazing stories of young achievers,
Right.
a painter, a rock climber, a sports predictor, and a tech entrepreneur. What common threads do you see running through their journeys?
Well, they're all incredibly passionate about what they do. It's not just a hobby or a passing interest. It's something they've really dedicated themselves to.
Yes, and they all seem to share a certain fearlessness, a willingness to push boundaries and defy expectations. They're not letting age or societal norms hold them back.
And they're all incredibly resilient. They've faced challenges and setbacks, but they haven't let those things derail them. They've kept going, kept learning, kept striving.
It's really inspiring to see that kind of determination, especially at such a young age. It makes you wonder what seemingly impossible dream might you be able to achieve with that same level of passion, dedication, and hard work.
That's a powerful question to consider. It reminds us that we all have the potential to do extraordinary things regardless of our age or background.
Exactly. These young achievers are showing us that the only limits are the ones we set for ourselves.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's all take a moment to think about our own aspirations. What are we truly passionate about? What dreams have we been putting off? And what steps can we take today to start moving towards them?
Remember, age is just a number. The time to pursue your dreams is now.
Thanks for joining us on this inspiring journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep reaching for the stars.